If Afrikaners were to get self-determination and rule over ourselves, we would immediately have far more money to spend. In fact, a middle class Afrikaner earning a net salary of around R500,000 or approximately $30,000 per year would be able to take home at least 20% more money every month. That is the equivalent of nearly 2.5 extra months of salary every single year, without working a single day more. There are of course many reasons why the Afrikaner people of today can pursue self-determination and even secede from South Africa. Perhaps most notably and urgently, the need to get away from the threats of genocide.
Shoot to kill, Gamaza, kill the poor, the farmer, kill the poor, the farmer, brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa. Attention.
On top of this specific reason, there's also a more general principle at play when it comes to the fight for self-determination, and that is the well-known fact that has been extensively researched, namely how ethnic homogeneity contributes to higher trust and more stable societies. But for Afrikaners striving towards self-determination, there is also another highly tangible benefit. One that is almost never ever mentioned, namely that we would be financially much better off if we were to gain independence. We here at the Willem Petzer Group calculated that, all things considered, the average Afrikaner could plausibly be paying around 60% less in total taxes, with personal income tax potentially falling far more than that in a lean fiscal model. Meaning, self-determination would make all of us much more rich. But how would that work? According to figures from the South African Revenue Services, personal income tax is paid by a very small slice of the population. Nearly 40% of this country's tax revenue comes in this form of personal income tax, and South Africa, a country with over 60 million people, actually only has around 5 million people paying income tax. But in terms of the number of taxpayers, Afrikaners are disproportionately represented. Given that roughly half of this country's income taxpayers are white, whites pay around roughly 500 billion in income tax annually. This means that the estimated share of total income tax by Afrikaners is plausibly in the region of 300 billion, or roughly 18 billion US dollars, out of the total annual income tax revenue of just over 60 billion US dollars. But what if Afrikaners got to spend their tax money on their own people, as for example is the case with the ethnically German South Tyroleans in Italy? Even if we assume that the government spent just as much money per capita on Afrikaners as any other group, which of course we know objectively isn't the case. For example, there's a reason why we pay 40,000 rands to send our kids to state school, while black South Africans pay close to zero. Furthermore, Afrikaners are also much less reliant on state medicine, for example. But for the sake of the argument, let's assume that we use the exact same amount of state services. Afrikaners could theoretically see personal income tax reduced by at least 60%, which would amount to a drop from around 300 billion to just under 100 billion rands, implying savings of over 200 billion every single year if we keep the exact same model as the state is doing here in South Africa. Now bear in mind that this figure only represents what Afrikaners could save if government spending were not reduced proportionally, and if fixed state costs were exactly the same. This means that it does not yet take into account what a fiscally disciplined and structurally lean government could potentially save the taxpayer in the case of a self-governing Afrikaner state. The fact of the matter is that if the Afrikaner were to actually get its own republic, and if we were to be liberated from the corruption currently bleeding dry the national treasury, then the actual tax savings for Afrikaners could be substantially greater than simple per capita redistribution effects alone. In fact, here at the Willem Petse Group, we believe that income taxes in an independent Afrikaner Republic could indeed be drastically reduced and potentially be lowered into low double digits or even single digits and still keep all the services going for our people. If the Afrikaner state still retained access to other revenue streams that the Afrikaner already pay in taxes, such as value-added tax and fuel levies, excise duties and capital gains tax. We know this because many small efficient nations already run on between 25 to 30% GDP government expenditure, which is less than South Africa's current rate of nearly 35%. Take Armenia, for example. Armenia has a population of 2.8 million, which is very similar to the Afrikaner population in South Africa. It has a flat personal income tax rate of under 20%, a flat corporate tax rate of 18%, and a VAT rate of 20%. Yet, Armenia's GDP per capita is only around $8,500 compared to the estimated $30,000 per year for Afrikaners. This means that in order to generate the same amount of total tax revenue per capita as Armenia, the Afrikaner Republican government would only need to raise a flat income tax rate in the range of roughly 15% if income tax were the primary instrument of state revenue, or lower still in a diversified tax model. If Afrikaners were to operate within a lean state capped at 20 to 25% of GDP, with the higher per capita income base that the Afrikaner is much higher than countries like Armenia, then the required tax burden would therefore be materially lower than what is currently paid in South Africa. What is more, the South African state actually spends around 20% of total government revenue on debt servicing costs, which amounts to around 350 to 400 billion rands annually. Without assuming that debt burden or by constitutionally limiting deficit spending, this could further reduce the long-term tax burden for the Afrikaner people in a state of self-determination. So, of course, there would be many variables at play should the Afrikaner ever gain a state of self-determination, but the structural arithmetic strongly suggests that Afrikaners could see substantial reductions in personal income tax, potentially around 60% or even more in a lean state model with a strong and free private sector, with total tax burdens materially lower than under the current South African fiscal framework. In practical terms, an independent Afrikaner Republic would fundamentally alter the tax structure itself. Income tax could be drastically reduced, potentially replaced by modest consumption taxes and even limited corporate taxation, as seen in smaller fiscally disciplined states. And what all this boils down to in practice is, in fact, when liberated from the burden of the corrupt and bankrupt South African welfare state, someone earning a net salary of $500,000 per year would be able to take home 90,000 rands per year more, or almost 8,000 rands per month more than they currently do. And these are really the most conservative estimates. But of course, there would be other socio-political implications as well. And the ANC government would not simply ignore people who might still live and work in South Africa, but declare tax residency in such a republic if it existed. South Africa also taxes on South African sourced income, regardless of whether someone has tax residency elsewhere. Still, the financial arithmetic alone suggests that self-determination could significantly increase disposable income and long-term wealth accumulation for the average Afrikaner household, even if that Afrikaner does not live in such a volksstaat, to put it like that. The average Afrikaner could live in South Africa even if such volksstaat existed somewhere else, declare tax residency in the volksstaat, and drastically reduce their income tax that they pay to the state. In a recent video, we highlighted the trillions of damage that the ANC's corruption and incompetence have done to South Africa's infrastructure. Check out this full report by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right now. And do remember to support us by becoming a paid member of the Willem Petsy Group. Only with your investment are we able to continue making such well-researched videos every day. Simply follow the easy steps on the banner. Goodbye and God bless.